And this is a rather important segue into the PD Avengers, because one of the key roles of the PD Avengers is to highlight the importance of patient involvement. So the PD Avengers research arm absolutely has this remit. And I'm sure that Larry, who is about to take control of this session completely, although he hasn't quite got his camera on yet, will be able to guide through some of this. But it's hugely important that we celebrate the incredible involvement that does happen, so that we can encourage more and more people to model this practice and to involve people living with Parkinson's in every step of their research. So I'm a strong fan of encouraging and celebrating best practice when we see it. And the Tom Isaacs Award is a very good way of doing that. Now, without further ado, Larry, you are taking control. This is the PD Avengers, and I'm so thrilled to have so many of you here. Please do feel free to turn on your cameras. Please do join in the discussion. And any attendees who would like to come and join the discussion and turn on your cameras, either just put a note in a message to me and I'll turn on your cameras from the back end and we'll see what we can do. But it's just lovely to have so many of you with us. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you particularly for enabling that to be a particularly good gotcha. Larry, over to you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Can you hear me okay? Can you? Yeah, all right, good. And you can see my slide here, the PD Avengers slide. We're going to start with just a sort of a little pick you up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise our hands in the air. Everybody raise your hands in the air. Come on. Oh, stretch up. And when you now lower your expectations for this session. All right, so here we go. Away we go. And we're going to... Can you hear the music? No, I always do that. Hang on. I am horrible at this. I do this every day, and I'm in radio. This is embarrassing. Who booked me? All right, so let's share this again, and we'll share the audio as well, because that's kind of important. And we'll go back to the PowerPoint. Let's see here. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning. Okay, you ready? This will be fun. dance number. Feel free to dance along. So that's just a little something to get us started. I want to share with you what a remarkable 18 months we've had as the PD Avengers, and we'll get into, if you're not familiar with us, we'll explain that, and we're going to hear some reports from around the world of the people that are participating as PD Avengers, so you can get a sense of what we're doing and what we're accomplishing. You can see here on the tote board we have 4,137 PD Avengers. We have 77 countries represented, 70 partners, and these are international organizations, local organizations, people that have said, yeah, we believe in what you're doing and we want to partner with you, from the Michael J. Fox Foundation and the Davis Finney Foundation and the Brian Grant Foundation, all the way to Cure Parkinson's and the Parkinson's UK and Parkinson's Australia. I mean, we're so blessed to have so many great partners. We've only been around for 18 months. So I'm going to give you a sense. Here's those 77 countries. We're beginning to really fill out this map. Now Russia's, we really only have one person in Russia, so it's a little bit unbalanced. But I did break out the states there. And if you look right there in the center of the United States, anybody know anyone in Oklahoma? What's wrong with Oklahoma? Nobody in Oklahoma's signed up to be a PD Avenger. This is ridiculous. And if you know anybody in Nunavut, in northern Canada, that'd be great too. So here's a little one-on-one, a 101, if you're not familiar with what we are and what we're doing. The PD Avengers are building a global alliance of people with Parkinson's, their family and friends, with the intent of ending Parkinson's. I mean, it's bold, but that's what we want to do. We're kind of sick of it. We were inspired to take action following the publishing of the book Ending Parkinson's Disease, written by Michael Okun, Ray Dorsey, Todd Shear, and Boz Bloom, the rock stars of Parkinson's. They were the original PD Avengers, and we couldn't be doing what we're doing without what they did. And they've been very supportive, and we are partners through and through. The PD Avengers believe in a think global, act local approach to advocacy. And you'll see how this is demonstrated throughout today's information session. We started with 12 original members, but when we finally, we were just kind of a club and we're just doing stuff, and we're like, we weren't sure what it was going to be, and it grew pretty quick. And so at one point, Tim Haig and Sonia Mather and I looked at each other, and we're all in Canada. We're like, our names on a lot of this stuff, we probably ought to get some protection. So we did become an official nonprofit this year, which is a big doing, and we're very excited about that. But we don't raise money because we don't want to compete with our partners. They know how to raise money and they know how to spend money much better than we do. What we do is we raise urgency, we raise a ruckus, we raise the profile of Parkinson's, we raise issues, and we basically we're, hopefully at the end of the day, effective and kind of a pain in the ass to the people who aren't paying attention to Parkinson's. Our unique proposition is that we are patient-led. There is no fundraising. We amplify the campaigns of our partners. As our membership grows, so does our influence with the UN and the WHO and governments. We're looking to unify the global PD community, activating PWP in forgotten territories like Romania, Uganda, and Yukon, and Algeria, building partnerships, urgency with 60 plus organizations, and supporting projects aligned with our three pillars. Wellness, we believe every person with Parkinson's should have equal access to information, medication, and therapies. We believe we must build a loud, uncomfortable voice, ever present, demanding change in how the disease is seen and treated. We believe patients are integral in every aspect of research in the quest for better treatments and ending Parkinson's. Now, this is not a complete list of our sponsors. We're adding more every day, but you can see just from this, I think this is a week old and it's already outdated. But it's just so gratifying to see this and to see the partnerships that aren't just happening because they're PD Avengers and they're coming to our meeting every other month, but because we've introduced them, they know each other, and they're eager to work with each other. And so seeing that collaboration is really excited. One of the groups I want to highlight is from Spain. They are PD Avengers in Spain. They launched the group Con D de Parkinson's. And so we'll listen to their video now.
Hola, hello. We are Con P de Parkinson, which in Spanish means P as in Parkinson's. We were born almost a year ago, on November 2020. We're a group of Spanish-speaking women living with Parkinson's disease, and many of us were diagnosed as young onset. This year has been a roller coaster, but we're very excited to share our journey with you. We're now a website where YOPD women can find a safe space to share their stories and learn from each other. And we have our own weekly radio show, Onda PK, where we bring together healthcare professionals and people with Parkinson's. We've been invited by the Spanish scientific community to participate in 2 conferences this year. And we're also working with the Vall d'Hebron Hospital in Barcelona on a survey. And this survey will be the very first one done in Spanish about women and Parkinson's. Maria Pujalte, a famous Spanish actress, is our voice to the world. You can see her here on the top left corner. And also it's worth mentioning that Bas Bloem, a well-known Dutch neurologist, spoke in 2019 about why healthcare needs the help of artists. And we've also partnered with Elena Bianco, a famous Spanish singer. She's graciously granted us permission to use one of her songs in a video. We've established links both nationally and internationally with associations and groups with similar interests. For example, the Spanish Committee of Representatives of Persons with Disabilities, or regional organizations like Asociación Parkinson Galicia Coruña or Asociación Parkinson Madrid. And in the international level, we're very good friends with the Women's Parkinson's Project and with the PD Avengers. We organize campaigns in social media, like the campaign called In My Shoes Con P, which is running in October 2021. And we plan to be in Barcelona in 2023 for the World Parkinson Congress to make our voices be heard. We are already working with people like Ariadna Laguna, who is a WPC Science Ambassador. The movement has started and we will not stop.
And they're doing just a terrific job, and they're networking with one of our other groups in Germany. And here, look what we have here. Before we play this, this is PD Avengers Germany. I want everybody, if you have a piece of paper that you can, that you don't care about, and you can just write Parkinson's on it while we're playing this video. And at the end, we're going to do something with it. And so I just want you all to get it, and we're going to capture this on tape, and then we'll add it to their campaign. But we'll watch a couple of videos first before we get there, so you have some time.
Hello, we are Mai,
Nina, and Katrin
of PD Avengers Schluss mit Parkinson.
Sorry.
We represent Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. As most of you have probably already done, we read the book and we were inspired to get involved in the PD Avengers movement. We started with a Facebook group in July this year, And now in the meantime, we have an own website and a YouTube channel as well. In Germany, many people cannot relate to the term PD Avengers. So we looked for a German name and decided to take Schluss mit Parkinson. This is the title of the German translation of the book Ending Parkinson's Disease, which will be released this month.
Our goal is mainly to raise awareness on the PD Avengers movement and to ask people to register. And as Larry always says, think global, act local. And so we thought about different activities involving this idea. For example, Mai and me had the opportunity to present PD Avengers at the opening ceremony of the Ping Pong Parkinson German Open to an international audience. People from 12 nations were present, and many of them were inspired.
In September, we also started the Toss of Parkinson's campaign. We asked people to write the word Parkinson's on a sheet of paper and crumble it up in a creative way. Till now, we have more than 40 videos from people from Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Spain, and we would be more than happy to receive your video as well. We also cooperate with the Spanish organization Conpide Parkinson, which is also one of the partners of the PD Avengers. Within 3 months, we managed to triple the number of German-speaking PD Avengers. We are proud to be PD Avengers.
Yes, we are.
Yes. And we would like to invite you to our October party on Sunday. See you there.
Bye.
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 That's great. That's great. Okay, so now we're gonna do this, and let's get out your pieces of paper because I want to see everybody's, and we're gonna do this, and then we'll send the video. So pull up your piece of paper. If you got your piece of paper, it says Parkinson's on it. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that feels good, right? That's awesome. And then we're going to, I've got, let me go back one. So I've got some, this is their campaign video for the Parkinson's, Crumple Up Parkinson's.
PD Avengers. Wir sind ein weltweites Bündnis von Menschen mit Parkinson und ihren Unterstützern. Parkinson ist immer noch fortschreitend und unheilbar. Wir brauchen mehr Forschung. Menschen mit Parkinson werden oft stigmatisiert. Wir setzen uns ein für mehr Aufklärung. 10 Millionen Menschen weltweit sind an Parkinson erkrankt. Es ist endlich Zeit für mehr Prävention. Mach mit. Sei Teil der Bewegung.
And then
PD Avengers. Schluss mit Parkinson.
all right, there we go. And then I want to play a song for you. So Ninit Bach is a singer-songwriter and producer, and he's been on stage with Paul McCartney and Bono, and he's profiled on 60 Minutes, and he is a PD Avenger. He founded Ping Pong Parkinson's and was over in Germany and met with the group, and then he also was at one of our, every other month we have a thing called Assemble, which is all PD Avengers are welcome to join us for an update on what's going on, and he joined us, and here's how that happened.
I have a short song, 3 minutes. If you want, I can play you. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Live music? That's what we're all waiting for.
Okay, so let me just I had an interview just a minute before I joined. That's why I'm dressed up. Otherwise,
I thought that's just how you always dressed.
No, I don't sleep with this. So here's the song that I could not play before. But now I can play. Can you hear me well? Can you
Sounds
hear
great.
Okay. If I had another life, I would never walk straight. All the things I love to do, other people love to hate. Put my shoes on my ears, my hat on my feet, park the car in the kitchen, take a bath in the street. I love ping pong, I love bounce, I love the Three Stooges and those crazy drums. I like lovers who don't vote the same. Lying on my bed in the stars and the rain. Oh yeah. If I had another life, I would run. Have some fun. But seriously, if I had another life, I would run for president. Feed the pigeons in the park, never paid the rent. Jerry Garcia, Secretary of State, declares money illegal. Would that be great? I love ping pong, I love bounce, and trolley pizza, and those crazy drums. I like lovers who don't vote the same. Lying on my bed in the stars and the rain. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I had another life, I would do it all again. Run a movie from the middle, beginning at the end. Try to miss the target, win the biggest score. Tell my dad I love him. Never did before. I love ping pong, I love bounce, I love the honeymooners and those crazy drums. I like lovers who don't vote the same. And talking to my father in the stars and the rain. If I had another life, if I had another life. There you go.
That's great.
That's amazing. That is a great treat.
Yeah, that's it.
So we'll continue on here. PD Avengers, let me go back one more. Austria, I just got this today. They've included our logo. They're a new partner of ours. And the Die Freundlich Parkinson's, I'm going to butcher that. It means the Friendly Parkinson's Self-Help Austria, which is great. Is Jeff here?
Yeah, I'm here, Larry.
Oh, good. Do you want me to play the first video and then you want to come in and talk about it, and then we'll play the second Birdman?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Okay. Here's the first video, and then we'll bring Jeff Constable in from Australia, where it's about 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
There's not a time when I can't remember the Birdman Rally. It goes back as far as my memory goes. I became involved through a mum at Bowie North Primary School. Her name's Shay, and she's been kind of doing a lot of fundraising work to help out our charity, which is called Love Your Sister, which aims to kind of eradicate or vanquish cancer.
We had 3 teachers in 18 months diagnosed with breast cancer.
My name's Tanya Purton and I'm a teacher at Beaumaris North Primary School. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016, so very big shock, not a good way to start the year.
I decided to contact Love Your Sister, and I received an email from Samuel Johnson himself. I love receiving emails like this. I think this is a fantastic event. Just one thing, can I be a Birdman?
I mean, it's iconic. I always fantasised as a boy that I would invent the contraption that flew far beyond everyone else's.
We have decided to create a parachute out of bras.
I'm Annie Thomas, and I'm a parent at the school and have volunteered here and loving it since prep. The parachute is called the Titty Titty Bang Bang.
It's made up of about 350 bras, and it's kind of like a parachute, a bra parachute. I'm not imagining that it's going to help me get very far, but just swallow any fear I have and commit.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited! Look at the crowd!
Oh, look, I'm nervous and I'm injured, so I've trained too vigorously. And I did about 45 practice dives off the wheelie bin onto a mattress yesterday. I've got a little plan in terms of the style of the jump, which I haven't seen done before at the Birdman Rally. I've wanted to do this since I was a kid, and can I dedicate this to my sister and to anyone out there that has supported the Love Your Sister community today?
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yep. Right, is 6 metres. Yep. But your charity jackpot is because you raised so much money. Yeah. Is 239 metres. You little ripper! Yep. TT Bang Bang is number 1 at the moment.
Oh my God, we won!
Congratulations once again, sir. And well done to everybody that's taken part in the 2017 Birdman Rally, making amazing things happen here on the Yarra. Thanks, Sam.
All right, Jeff, why are we watching that?
Because next March, which is, we have a festival in Melbourne called Moomba. You're seeing the sign up there, and we also get a public holiday for that. But the major event, and one of the major events for Moomba, which goes over 3 days, is the Birdman Rally. And next year, we have PD Avengers flying. So I will be a pilot. I chose that video. There's lots of videos for that, but that was in support of a great friend of ours from World Parkinson's, Eli Pollard, who's dealing with those sort of issues at the moment. So just to acknowledge her and send her a bit of love, and we're thinking of her. But so next year, yeah, I take the leap of faith and into the Yarra River. So in Melbourne, it's well loved. There will be about 500,000 people lined along the Yarra to watch that. About 15 or 16 of us will make the leap, and it's a great fundraising chance for us, and the focus for us will be the young onsets. So yeah, that's one of my events for first one when we get out of COVID lockdown. That's probably a big celebration for everyone. Yeah,
sure. Let's look at a few of the other entries.
There's usually it's all, most of it is community.
one leap or something. I'm not really sure. Just see whatever happens.
I wouldn't say I'm fat, but I'm very short for my weight. So yeah, I've got massive disadvantages when it comes to actually flying. It's not actually possible.
That's fun. That's just a fun time. What do you have an idea of what the what it's going to look like yet?
Yeah, we have to submit costume design, what our thinking is, colors, and the craft we're going to fly. At the minute, of course, being PD Avengers, it will be a super hero outfit in the colours of World Parkinson's and also Parkinson's Australia. And at this stage, we're thinking recognition of the tulips. We're going to make tulips like balloons and have them coming out of a big pot plant, and I'll be inside that. So that's how I go, and it's quite big here. That's televised live. It goes for about 2 or 3 hours, the whole event.
Oh my goodness!
It's televised live across Australia, and so it gives us a big chance to get some recognition. It's yeah, it's cool.
So tell me about the Oxfam trail walker that you're doing as well.
Yeah, so that'll be in March as well. So 2 weeks after the leap into the Yarra. And of course, everyone knows that the most dangerous thing of that leap is actually the water. It's not the cleanest river in the world. But so 2 weeks after that, I walked my 6th 100 kilometres, so 60-mile Oxfam trail walker. And we've got this year was cancelled. We had 5 PD Avenger teams. Each team has 4 people in it, and but that was cancelled due to COVID, and also a severe storm ripped up the ranges we walked through, so it was quite dangerous. But that's on 2 weeks after the Moomba Birdman Rally, and we are expecting a lot more teams than the 5 we had. There's already people committing to that now. So we'll start training in at the latest November. I'm an ambassador for Oxfam, and also ambassador and trail guide for the trail walkers. So part of what we do is commit to, if you want community support, you have to give something back to the community. So we see that as a trade-off, and people become more aware of us because we're actually helping them achieve something that's quite, they don't think they can do. And we certainly convince them that they can, and we give them the best chance we can. But yeah, it's a heavy duty walk. We walk through, this video will show people having a nap in a tent, but we don't. We walk through the night. So
oh wow, look at you.
And we finish in around 26. Oh, it depends on the weather, 26 to 30 hours. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get to the video, but maybe at the end. I got to move on because we got a lot more to cover, and more people standing by. There's so much going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we should mention that Jeff is now the new chapter lead for our PD Avengers in Australia, or Oceania, I guess, Australia and New Zealand. So thank you for taking on that role. And Mark Van Grieken, who you heard from earlier, is the chapter lead in Scotland, PD Avengers Scotland. Of course, you heard all about the University of Dundee, which is a great partner of ours. And so it's just, it all comes together full circle as this goes on. Before we get to Uganda, I want to talk about the Women's Parkinson's Project. Rochelle Flanagan is a co-founder of WPP and an original member of the PD Avengers. And that's just my clever spelling to 6 in the morning of Avengers, which is really weird. But is Rochelle here? Hello, Rochelle.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to hand over the screen to you.
Okay. So after all that fantastic, uplifting videos, etc., I'm going to bring it down a bit because I'm going to present a more typical presentation about women with Parkinson's with regard to research. So I'm just going to share my screen here. It's a shared screen. Where's it on? There it is. There. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so thanks very much for having the opportunity to present to you today. As Larry mentioned, myself and two friends that I met through the World Parkinson's Congress noticed that we all were developing sort of symptoms that were linked into being a woman. And we decided we needed to do something about this and to raise the voice of women with Parkinson's, to ask for better treatment and, you know, to improve the research for women with Parkinson's disease. So I'm just going to bring you through a couple of areas with regard to the need for better representation of women with PD in research. There was a paper done back in 2010. It was actually by one of the authors of the Ending Parkinson's, Michael Okun. And back then, they basically called for improved in clinical studies for women with Parkinson's. But then there was a paper done in 2018 which showed that more than 50% of all major PD trials published since 2010 recruited more than 59% of men. So it doesn't seem like we've really moved the dial hugely. So what are the key research challenges for women with Parkinson's? One of the key things is delayed diagnosis. So you'll see here, the difference between for a man and a woman is quite significant in terms of diagnosis. So we know through the research that women tend to be diagnosed later. And also there's a longer duration from onset of Parkinson's to referral to a movement disorder specialist. So it was 61% longer for a woman to get access to a neurologist. Also, women and minorities in particular receive a neurology visit much longer after white men. And also this may bias research because epidemiological studies and treatment trials generally rely on specialty centers for recruitment. So if women are not being referred, then this is going to be a bias against them in terms of taking part in research. Also, we need more research on symptom differences. There was a kind of a seminal paper by Seri et al. In 2019 that define the difference between men and women in terms of their symptoms, both motor, but also non-motor. And the non-motor symptoms that are most prevalent in women are anxiety, depression, fatigue, feelings of nervousness, sadness, restless leg syndrome, constipation. And this is one of the problems with the delayed diagnosis for women with Parkinson's, is that it tends to be anxiety, depression. And so many young onset Parkinson's disease women that we speak to have gone through many conversations with their healthcare practitioners, but it's kind of dismissed that it's, it's depression or anxiety. But we do need more research to kind of define those symptoms more. The other thing is there's a lack of research into the hormonal impact on women with Parkinson's and their Parkinson's symptoms. So we need more research in terms of premenstrual tension, menses, pregnancy, perimenopause, postmenopause. We need to know the impact of the contraceptive pill, HRT. And we do know that a lot of us with young onset Parkinson's reported worsening of motor symptoms prior to their bleeds, their menstrual bleeds. And the research around this is very old. It's back in 1986, the paper, in 2010, and there were very small numbers in these research papers. So this led us to put together, the PD Avengers put together a survey of women, and we got 200 responses in English online. We had 32 in a Hispanic survey that was put together by the PD Avengers. And it showed that 74% of women experience worsening of their symptoms around menstruation. 86% of the respondents reported that their symptoms got worse in the week prior to their menstrual bleed. Rigidity, bradykinesia, and dystonia were the worst affected motor symptoms. Fatigue, anxiety, and depression were the worst non-motor symptoms. And interestingly, the Hispanic survey showed the most affected non-motor symptoms were fatigue, pain, and apathy. So slightly different. Now, obviously, there's a small sample, but it sort of shows that it's definitely worthwhile looking at the different nationalities and countries. Also, there is poor participation of women in research. So why is there poor participation of women in research? Well, generally, as I mentioned, exclusion from trials due to the later diagnosis. If they're not referred to the centres, then they're less likely to be referred to the research trials. Research shows that poor communication with neurological care providers and mistrust may be a further barrier. So the research shows that women tend to be more distrustful of their care providers. Work and caregiving roles and lack of time to attend on-site visits is shown in the research to be a barrier. Low socioeconomic status may lead to the inability to take time from work or lack of schedule flexibility to attend trial appointments. And women may be risk adverse with regards to surgical interventions such as DBS. And I know a PD Avenger friend of mine also, she took part in the trial there recently, but she had quite bad mental health symptoms in response to the trial. And she found it hard to get access to the healthcare providers to kind of put her at ease. And she decided to pull out of the trial when it went to this next phase. So I suppose it's just women often are the main caregivers, and there might be worries about the impact on some of these trials and worsening things for them. Possible solutions to improve research in women with PD. Obviously, education of healthcare providers on the differences in female symptoms and the need for early referral to neurologists. Specific research to the barriers and preferences for participation in research. Engage at community level to understand the barriers to participation, because women are very much working in the community. So we need to bring the research to them if they can't come to the research. Improve accessibility. The research shows that women actually have quite a high participation in online research and obviously in community as well. Make it culturally relevant, translator services and incentives. And then research into risk adversity to experimental trials. We need to ask the women who have taken part, why do they not progress? Why are they not taking part? And sex and gender sensitive symptom tracking and outcome measurement tools need to be looked at. Because we know in terms of the UPDRS, et cetera, that they're not particularly sensitive, and they're not particularly sensitive to a major subgroup, which is the women with Parkinson's. And we need to engage women in the design, implementation, and analysis research to more effectively identify best practices for study inclusion and retention. We need to ask the women themselves. So a better understanding of PD for some means a better understanding of PD for all. And a customized, precision-based approach to clinical trials will allow the better treatment, the betterment of care for all people living with PD worldwide, not just women. So thanks very much for your time, and I hope that it'll stimulate a bit of discussion and thought within your own research centres to really focus on highlighting the needs of women with Parkinson's, which will ultimately benefit everybody. And I just want to thank all the researchers who do a lot of work on our behalf already. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed that talk. I just noticed in the chat that Elizabeth has put in that there's a final session on in-grant challenges that people might also be interested in joining. So I just wanted to flag that before I hand back over to Larry and the team. Oh, I can't hear you, Larry.
Helen, did you want to chime in there, or Sonia, did you want to chime in there and talk about the Women's Parkinson's Project? I know you guys have been working on that as well.
Sonia, I think it'd be fantastic if you could. Rochelle has obviously been part of that as well. I'm so sorry, everyone. I had a major power outage. So the last 5 minutes I've been scrabbling around on my hands and knees under my desk.
Well, no, thanks to Rochelle for that really great presentation. So she sort of presented the issues that we have with women and their care, as well as the lack of research being done into issues regarding hormones and lifestyle issues and life circumstances that result in differences in the care that women receive compared to their male counterparts. So what we decided was, as PD Avengers, we would start to think about how we can solve this problem. And the first part is knowledge. So the knowledge base isn't there, and we need to get that knowledge. We need to ask our fellow women with PD what their experience is all about. And what we decided to do was put together, with cooperation and with gratitude to Fox Insight team at Fox Foundation, a survey, a large survey, comprehensive survey, to put out on the Fox Insight platform, hopefully, that will allow us to survey the community and ask about all these issues in terms of their history and their symptoms and how it varies according to their cycle and their involvement in research and the complications, to try and delineate some ways forward, I guess, would be the way to say it, some avenues for research that need to be done that will hopefully result in better care for women with PD, but may also, as Rochelle alluded to, result in answers for the PD community in general, because we do share similarities, but the answers might actually lie in our differences. Helen, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I did also want to add that there's an effort from the Parkinson's nurse specialist group here in the UK to try and map what is currently happening in terms of best practice and what they are currently asking women who they see in clinic, because that at least will give them a base level of what should be being done. And with that, they can actually start to build a platform with clinicians globally about good questions to ask and when to ask them.
Helen, how much time do I have left?
Well, how much time do you need, Larry?
Well, I could talk for all day long.
I know. We probably have about another 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, if that's all right.
Okay, great. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to share my screen again.
Rochelle, thank you. That was a great presentation.
Rochelle, that was great. You didn't hear me, but I was praising you greatly, but my mic was off. So
it's so brilliant to see these topics rising up. So thank you.
Well, what's really interesting, Helen, is if you think about what happened at the end of the last WPC, where all the YOPD got together in the room on the last day, and everything that's blossomed from that one meeting is truly remarkable. I do invite everybody to join our Global Alliance in Parkinson's Disease. You can go to all of these different websites. So if you need a language translation, they're there. There's all sorts of great websites there. So please take advantage of that. It's free. We're going to send you an email every now and again. You could be as involved as you want to be, but more importantly, we need your voice. We need your friends' voices. We need your family's voices. We need your medical team's voices. I want to go over some of the partnership activities that we've been up to, some of the successes we've had this year. We talked a little bit about Ping Pong Parkinson, and they're a new sponsor, and we heard the song that will stick in your head for the rest of the day. The friends at LSVT Global are working with Google AI, and they are looking for 1,000 people with Parkinson's that have some sort of affect to their voice because of Parkinson's. If you can read English out loud, and you have Parkinson's, and even if you have a foreign accent, that's okay. They're trying to challenge the Google AI and teach it how to understand what we're saying, even though most can't. And then it will make our smartphones and our Alexas and our Google Homes much more effective for us. And at some point we'll be able to talk into the phone, and the phone will talk for us to friends. So if you want more on that, there is information at the LSVT Global, and if you just go to their website, there's some good information there. We had a great run with the Vivid Dreams art exhibition in London. That was amazing. I hope everybody got to see it. If you didn't, go to parkinsons.art and the website, and it's still there as a virtual tour. We had 50 international artists with Parkinson's that displayed their artwork. Truly amazing. We combined efforts with the authors of Ending Parkinson's Disease to do a red letter campaign to Washington. We sent 35,000 red letters to the White House demanding or asking for 3 things. And one of them was to keep the distance medical care, the telemedicine, permanent for Medicare. It was just an exception because of COVID. They've not done that yet. We also asked for them to ban 3 more chemicals, and they've banned 1 of those chemicals since we sent that note, which is exciting. And we asked them to increase their research dollars by tenfold. The study that Fox, I believe, took with some help with some others, it says that the burden for Parkinson's disease is about, I'm guessing at these numbers, but they're close, $56 billion a year. And the amount of money that they put towards research from the government is about $250 million a year. So it's not even close. And so if they times that by 10, it'll be better. We launched with a big campaign for Parkinson's in Africa. We're really proud of what Amatola is doing and want to continue to help her. We do have a great World Parkinson's Day. We're already getting on this. It's April, I know, but we have a committee with our partners, and right now we are accepting people's inspiration for the official logo that everybody can use. We have the services to pro bono services of a creative agency out of Brooklyn, New York. It's a gentleman whose mom has Parkinson's, and he's like, I just want to help out, and this is my superpower, so use us. And so we are, and so they're going to help us design a logo, but we want to give them some inspiration so people from the Parkinson's community can have some influence on it. So if you go to pdavengers.com and just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see where you can fill out your details and upload whatever inspiration that is. Could be a song, could be art, could be whatever. Want to thank the Michael J. Fox Foundation for giving us the takeover of their podcast. That was real exciting. We had a good time with that, and we got to introduce people with Parkinson's to a whole lot more organizations, both in North America and around the world. One of the big victories we had this year was the World Health Organization held its first formal workshop and panel discussion on Parkinson's in 30 years. And there was 30 people there. I snuck my way into the back. I was the only person there without a doctorate and with Parkinson's. They did call me Dr. Gifford, so I'm going to accept that as a just honorary doctorate. But it's very exciting. We're writing a paper, a technical brief for the UN, so they can advise the UN member states. So as soon as we get done collecting inspiration in November, we're going to be asking everybody to write their UN representative, because that's how we're going to get them to recognize World Parkinson Day, both at the UN and the WHO. If the representatives of the countries bring it up and say it's important, then they'll do it. And that's the only way to get it done. So that's what we're going to have to do. And then next year, we're looking forward to the Parkinson's Games. It's like the Olympics for the Parkinson's. It's going to be really exciting. You're going to hear more about that. It's going to be during the Goodwill Games, and we're going to try to do a partnership with the Goodwill Games of some sort. There's just a lot of stuff going on. And then, of course, in 2023, the World Parkinson Congress, we're looking forward to that. So just so much going on. I could go on forever. We get a great, I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel. There's some great videos. Earlier, Amatola and the group were talking about Africa and some of the problems with naming it Parkinson's. I've got a great interview on our YouTube channel with Hannington, who lives in Uganda, who helps a lot of people. And it's like a 5-minute interview. And it's just, I was going to play it here, but we've run out of time. But it's heartbreaking. And it's just sort of gives you an idea of the differences that, you know, we're all fighting Parkinson's one way or the other, but it's not the same way, you know. And that's why we say think global, act local. I can't know what's going on in every community, neither can Sonia or Tim, but what we can do is we can say we want to end Parkinson's and we want to help, you know, people with Parkinson's live a better life today, and then from there, all these chapters around the world can feed into us and say we're going to go for this and we need this, and we can connect them with resources and partners and people who've maybe tried that before. So it's growing exponentially. Please tell your friends and family about it. We're really excited. Thanks for everybody's support. It's really it's an honor to be able to do this. You know, it's very rewarding for all of us. So thank you. And if anybody has any questions, Sonia and I are happy to answer them.
Taki, I think you had your hand raised earlier. Do you want to unmute yourself and
I'm going to have to talk to this Larry.
We would like these forums to speak in Spanish, as well as the more colleagues from South America will attend, especially when they need to have medication principles.
So this is also something that's been raised by Spain, is we need to find a way of simultaneous translation, and I've no idea how to do that, but I think there will be a technical solution, but we do need to do it. It came up.
I can understand, but I don't speak English very well. And
I'm speaking very fast too, sorry.
Yeah, especially Rochelle. I understand Rochelle. I didn't understand Rochelle, sorry.
So I think the work that Sonia has been leading with the survey for women in particular, I think it's been really important, because the group in Spain has said, please, can we have translation, because it's so important for our membership. So this is something that we will look at and understand.
Also, thanks to Rochelle, we will work with the Valdebrón Hospital in a new survey.
That's great. Taki, we're so proud of what you guys are doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, but sorry for my English.
Oh, no need to apologize. Hey, Larry Gifford. How come this guy who's got my name? Is that Jeff?
Yeah, it's me.
He's freaking me out, man. I feel like I'm being stalked by myself.
I'm flying under the radar.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
In which case, I think I'm going to say a huge thank you, Larry. That was a huge, a very rapid dance through some of the activity that PD Avengers has been accomplished in such a short time. And I think the thing that really struck home for me was the Red Letter campaign. That had a result. The WHO, that's the start of a conversation. And actually it comes back to the point that the only way that we're going to end Parkinson's is if we can raise the profile of this disease, get health providing bodies, governments, to realize that Parkinson's is a health priority. And with that, we will get the necessary investment for not only healthcare, but also for research. And so I think that it is a massively important, all activity that breaks the bubble, all activity that gets us outside of the Parkinson's bubble is so important. And I really commend all the work of all the Avengers globally to make that happen.